Irregular Laqach. Okay, finally, for the Kal, first nuns, you want to look at Laqach. Now, what in the world does Laqach have to do with Kal first nuns? The reason we're looking at it here is because this verb, Laqach, behaves as if it is a first nun in the Kal. It doesn't do this in the Nifal, just in the Kal. So it's actually first lamed, right? We got a lamed there, not a nun, but the lamed behaves as if it is a nun. The other thing to note with this is that it is a third guttural. It's got a chet there, so that will affect things as well. So we can see here, yikach, our lamed has disappeared and we have this dagesh forte. We know it's a dagesh forte because we have a vowel here. Dagesh leni would run away in the presence of a vowel here, right? So we know this is dagesh forte, and it's there because that is our lamed, that is our assimilated lamed, as if it were a nun. So we see it all the way down here. Look at this. Beauty. This is gone. Why is it gone? Exercise for the student. You know why it's gone, right? Coal mine rule. Here we have a letter, that's one of the coal mine letters, in fact the first one, and our rule, João Maroca, page 83, says that if you have a coal mine letter that's supposed to have a dagesh forte, as it is here because we need to assimilate our lamed, but it's followed by a vocal shava, it'll sometimes be lost, and in fact it is here. So it's a nice rule to keep in the back pocket, so you explain what's going on. Okay, other than those though, you've got your dagesh forte all the way through, your lamed has assimilated. Same here. And here again, look at that. Vocalicandi means we have reduction, means we have vocal shava, which means the coal mine rule applies. In this case, we actually lose it. Now, this is also nice because we see our shortened forms just like we do in Nagash, right? We had gash, now we have kach. We don't have a dagesh lene here because kof is not a begad kafat letter. So it's nice. It really shows us clearly that the first letter, in this case lamed, behaving like nun, has in fact dropped and not assimilated. So we have kach, kecha, kechi, kechu, kachna, just like we'd have gash, gesha, geshi, geshu, gashna. Okay? So it's behaving like nagash. Over here, let's look at this here. We have, just like nagash, we have kachat, or kachat. Now it's a little different than nagash, right? Because nagash we have geshet, with two segals, but because we have a third guttural, it's going to have two patachs. Just like seglet nouns that have gutturals, or third guttural anyway, maybe second guttural as well, they will have patachs instead of segals. But you still have that seglet-like pointing. So really, Laqach is most similar to nasa. How do I do nasa here? Nasa, right? Meaning to travel. That's a samach there. Nasa. The one other thing we want to say is that because it's a third guttural, you end up with a situation where you need to have a furtive patach. If you turn to page 40 in Ross, or section 2.8, he talks about the furtive patach, and he says the furtive patach will show up when you have a strong guttural, a hey, a chet, or an ayin. In this case we have a chet there. A strong guttural, this extra vowel called the patach shows up spontaneously or furtively in pronunciation when the guttural follows a full accented long vowel. Well, here we have a full vowel, right? Tsere. It's accented because the accent is at the end, and it's a long vowel. So we have a furtive patach. Lokeach. Okay? Lakuach. And lakoach. In all three cases, we end up with this furtive patach. Now again, I've written it straight underneath because my font doesn't do this, but often furtive patach will be written a little bit to the left to indicate that it's to be pronounced before the chet. Lakoach, not lakocha. Okay, let's see if I actually managed to cover all this. So, Laqach acts like nasa. The reason we feature nasa rather than nagash is because of this here. It's got two patachs. It's like nasa. It's like a first nun, where the lamed is behaving like the first nun. theme vowel is patach because of the third guttural, this chet here. It has shortened imperatives, and we like these because we can see that the lamed has not assimilated quite clearly because there's no need for dagash lani there, no confusion possibilities. And it has a shortened infinitive construct. So kachat, just like sa'at, and has a furtive patach that shows up in these three cases because we have these long, full accented vowels just before it. And it is regular in the nifal. The lamed does not assimilate there. It's just in the kal. Just in the kal that laqach acts like a first nun. And one way maybe to remember this, if you look at your tables in Ross, for first nun, page 459, he's got 4 columns of kal. First one is nagash, meaning to approach. Second one is nafal, meaning to fall. Then he has natan. This is that irregular but common verb. Natan is to give. Laqach, the last one, is to take. So give and take. If you think about give and take, then you'll know which, or you'll associate laqach with natan, which is the first nun. And I think that's it. Okay, so much for first nun verbs in the kal. Next we're going to turn to first nun in the nifal.